Here we go now. A case of beer, some barbecue. There's no doubt that I'm better than you. With
Check, testing 1, 2.
And these moves, you can't blame me for being so rude. The land of the red, white, and blue will be my home till the day I die. I'm every lady's fantasy. I'm the American guy. The trailer park is where I'm from. You better believe I have about 27 guns. Baseball games, pickup trucks. I'm leagues above you other dumb schmucks. I'm from where the women are hot and the Twinkies are deep fried. And every day I pledge allegiance to God and country. I'm the American guy.
Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Filsinger Games Fan Podcast. This is the Filsinger Games Fan Podcast for episode number 134 for April 25th, 2021. So excited to have you all here. This is the podcast that fights in Taiga style. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is so awesome to have everyone tuned in. Hey, I want to start by thanking the promoters. These are the people who make this video possible, the other videos on the channel possible. Huge thanks to the promoters. If you're watching on video, it's the people you see on the screen right now. If you're listening, it's all the promoters of Saturday, or all the promoters, all the patrons of Saturday Morning Media, including our Patreon producers who get a special shout out: Dorothy Pachoco, Eve Cunning, Kathy Crawford, Tony Urbano, David Akers, Jamie Donmeyer, and Vicky Sebring. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is so nice to have you all here. We actually have a fair bit of news, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a deleted tweet. And I might get in trouble for talking about this tweet, but it was a pretty big tweet, so I'm going to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Starting off with a roundup of our regular Filsinger Games news, starting with Champions of the Galaxy. Of course, we have Future Shock Central Wrestling 2117 coming out. If you want to go read the post, you can go read the post about this on the Filsinger Games website. Just a little bit of storyline advancement. And you can go check that out and go read that at filsingergames.com. The pre-orders for Future Shock Central Wrestling Federation 2117 start May 7th. And they ship at the end of the month. Moving on to Champions of the Galaxy, and this is the deleted tweet I was talking about. Tom posted this tweet yesterday and said, so let's have some fun. A character in Origins 2137 will be featured in not one, not two, but 3 official named tag teams. Who is this character and who are the partners? All the characters are already known by Champions of the Galaxy fans. Now, this tweet has since been deleted. I tried to link to it on the message boards, and it just didn't show up because the tweet has been deleted. And I don't even know, actually, how it showed up in my feed, because apparently it had already been deleted. But I took a screen capture of this, and the reason it may have been deleted is that Tom has already changed his plans. He is not doing anything with this. This plan has changed in a brilliant stroke of genius. But I thought it was an interesting thing, an interesting look into the process of how Tom does his writing. And will this come true? I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. We're going to have to wait and see. Of course, Origins 2137 is coming out in July from Filsinger Games. So we will go check that out when it comes. There was no news for Champions of the Galaxy Prime, but I'm sure in the weeks ahead we will get some teasers for that. Moving on to Indies, Filsinger Games independent wrestling card game. We got an announcement of a Lee Moriarty, and the little blurb says, drawing comparisons to the Hall of Fame caliber talent Bryan Danielson. Lee Moriarty is the innovator of Taiga style, self-described as using a little bit of everything. I went to Lee Moriarty's website, his YouTube channel, and he's got a fun little documentary about what Taiga style is. I will link to that in the show notes once this podcast is fully posted, so you can go check it out for yourself. But Lee Moriarty joins Calvin Tankman in the Best of the Indies set 2021 that is coming out at the end of May. The pre-orders will begin on May 7th. So super fun artwork. Interested in learning more about him as we go forward. Moving on to Legends of Wrestling card game, we got our first announcement for the Legends Ringside Personnel 4-pack, and that is legendary ringside announcer Gary Michael Cappetta, who had a black and white card and is now making the move to color. You know, I didn't really use his black and white card often. I think I used it 1 or 2 times, but I really think I'm going to be using it in my Fed when going forward. So maybe not for every match, maybe for the main events or something like that. But super excited to check that out. I love this artwork. The only thing I was thinking, and maybe it's not too late if the powers that be are listening, is that I believe we already have a picture of somebody. I should have looked this up before I started this, but I would love to get the Legends of Wrestling logo on the microphone. And I think there already is somebody who has a microphone that has the Legends of Wrestling logo on there. I don't know if that's Gordon Soley or whatever, but it would just be a fun theming. I mean, I know you got the logo behind him, so it's a little bit of a repetition to have it on the microphone, but maybe that's coming. I don't know, but that would be cool to see. But there you go. I will definitely be picking up this set. Legends Ringside Personnel 4-pack coming end of May. Pre-orders start May 7th. And then in the other big news, for Legends Prime, we now have the poll up for the Fans' Choice card in the Q2 Legends of Wrestling Prime. And the choices that you have are Adrian Adonis, Buff Bagwell, Cousin Luke, Conan in his mid to late 90s gimmick, Scotty Riggs, Golden Boy Danny Spivey, and Lord Zoltan. Now, if you're any kind of listener to this podcast, you know that my vote will definitely be going towards Adorable Adrian Adonis. I would actually love Adorable Adrian Adonis, Cousin Luke, or Danny Spivey. Either one of those three would find immediate use in my Fed. I know a lot of the early rumblings are going to Scotty Riggs because it's a new name. I'm just not as familiar with the other names. Buff Bagwell I was familiar with as well, but I just didn't. I was more of a WWE guy. I know, whatever. So anyway, but make sure you go get your votes in. The voting closes on May 2nd. So go check that out. It's over on the message boards. I will have a link in the show notes to the post where you can go vote. So you have till May 2nd to vote. You can only vote once, but some great names here. And as much as I want Adorable Adrian Adonis to win, I don't think he's going to win, but I'm confident he will come out sometime in the future. So moving forward, I wanted to talk about these champions, or not Champions of the Galaxy, but these Filsinger Games game mats. These are things that I have been putting up for the community to download. There has been talk about Filsinger Games making their own game mats, and I've given them all my files because that was part of the deal I made with Tom. When I asked Tom if I could use Champions of the Galaxy and Filsinger Games artwork on these game mats, I just said, if I do this, and then I'll give you the files, and if you ever want to do official ones, you can use my files as a jumping off point or not use them at all, but I'm going to give them away free. And he said yes, he said cool, so that's what I did. Now, if you are a subscriber to my channel, you know that oh wait, I gotta go back here. Sorry, if you're watching live right now, you're going to see a little clip of a video showing the game mat that I ordered for my own Fed. When I got this game mat, I really liked it. I thought the design came out well, but what I noticed was that the little boxes for things like distractor, outside interference, pin save, all that stuff, they were too small. They were just a little bit hard to read. I mean, you could read them and you could figure out what they were. But for most of us who are over the age of 40, shall we say, and may need some glasses as we get older, it was they could have been clearer. So what I did was I decided to kind of update the style. And this is the whole reason I'm asking you this, because I'd love some feedback on this. If you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, click on over to the YouTube version so you can see this part. But the sample I made, now ignore where the cards go. I can make different versions with the cards on top, the guards on the bottom. That doesn't matter. What I'm talking about is where the fatigue tokens go. And right now, you can see that in this new version, I have made where it says ringside distractions, outside interference, pin save, double team attempts. I have made that text bigger so that it is easier to read. But then I didn't know if, when you're looking at this, if the fatigue token counters where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, if that looks good as it does now in this sample, or this is the version I made today where you will see on the red side of the game mat, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, both of those fatigue counters start in the center and go outward. And then to make that match, I did the same thing to the ringside distractions and outside interference, but to me that looks a little weird. So I would love to know in the comments which you think is better. If the fatigue tokens should always go from left to right, or if you like the version, I clicked too far here, if you like the version where they sort of start in the center and then go out. Again, if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, none of this is going to make sense. But I really like these to be sort of a community developed thing. And that's what I'm looking at. I definitely like that the text for ringside distractions, outside interference, pin save, etc. is outside of the box. It does make it a little bit easier to read. But let me know what you think. I would love to know what your thoughts are on those game mats. This slide should have been before the game mat slides. But of course, pre-ordering for all the things happens at filsingergames.com. All right, it's time for the match of the show. As you know, if you are a regular listener, we have a new champion. Dude Brohan beat Randy Macho Man Savage last week, and so I asked you who Dude Brohan should fight in his first title defense, and we got some great answers. Randy Savage, someone said Randy Savage should get a rematch. Bishop Hell, the original Bishop Hell. Lou Thez, Jet Set Strutter, who's another 80s Mania wrestling character. King Kong Bundy, or Exo-King, the original Exo-King. Nobody got more than one vote, so I put all these names inside of a random generator, and I randomly generated them all up, and the winner, who will be getting his match tonight, is Exo-King. So the original Exo-King will be facing Dude Brohan in our main event for the podcast Grand Championship here. So let's ring the bell. Oh, I have my sound effects down, so there you go. You can hear the bell there. And we will roll for initiative. It would be, I think it would be great to have an original star win the title, but we're going to see what happens here. Exo-King rolls a 5, so he actually gets the initiative, and he starts things off with a Skull Crusher, but that's a choice D. So let's see here. His power rating is a -4, so that's going to work on a 5 or less. I think he's going to have to go with this kick to the face. That'll work on a 10 or less. The roll is an 8, so it does work. That's a level 2 move. Hurt 2. Can Exo-King capitalize here? Shoulder tackle 2. Dude Brohan reversing it on level 1. I do unfortunately think Dude Brohan is going to be hard to beat. Into the ropes, he tosses Exo-King into the ropes. The opponent uses one of his specialty moves on you and goes in for the kill. Opponent rolls on level 3 offense. Dude Brohan in control here. Elbow drop, choice G. So he's either going to do a death jump or a tombstone pile driver, which would work on a 3 or less. Well, I think Dude Brohan is going to try this death jump, even though Exo-King has an A rating. And Dude Brohan climbs to the top, but Exo-King recovers, throws him off the top of the turnbuckle and into the ring, and he goes down hard. Exo-King now rolling on level 3 offense, and he rolls the Death Vice. There we go. The big submission move locks in the Death Vice here. The target is going to be 3 as we roll for a pin, and the roll is a 4, ladies and gentlemen. Dude Brohan just barely able to get out. He will get 1 fatigue token as Exo-King rolls again on level 3 offense, and it's the Death Vice again, ladies and gentlemen. He keeps it locked in there, and so we're going to roll again for Dude Brohan here. 4 is the target. The roll is a 7, so Dude Brohan getting another fatigue token. Can Exo-King do it again? No, he goes ahead in a turnbuckle too. So we're going back up. Not quite what Exo-King wants to do, and especially not because Dude Brohan just reversed it on level 2. Into the turnbuckle, he's going to throw Exo-King into the turnbuckle. Exo-King bounces forward and catches the opponent with a skull-splitting lariat. He goes down hard. Dude Brohan now rolling on level 3 defense. Down 3. Exo-King is really kicking butt in this match. Out of the ring. Is he going to throw him out of the ring? His out of the ring rating is an A. I think Exo-King is going to play the smart game. He is going to roll on level 2 offense, and he does. Into the turnbuckle. He's going to toss Dude Brohan into the turnbuckle. The opponent tries a running clothesline, but you move, and Exo-King crashes into the turnbuckle. You cover him for the pin. Oh no, Exo-King is rolling his pin here. The target is a 3. The roll is a 5. He is able to get out of it. He is now at 1 fatigue. Dude Brohan rolling on level 3 offense. Body slam 3. Oh no. Exo-King down 3. Leave the ring. Exo-King is going to roll out of the ring. The opponent crushes you with a spectacular move outside the ring. Roll your count out. Use your pin rating. Oh no. Is Exo-King going to get counted out? The target is 4. The roll is a 10. He is not counted out. He does get 1 more fatigue token. Dude Brohan throws Exo-King back into the ring and will roll on level 3 offense. Body slam 3. Down 3, leave the ring. Exo-King's going to leave the ring again, but crawls helplessly back in to beat the 10 count as Dude Brohan rolls on level 3 offense. Oh no, the big bro leg drop, a big +4, a big +4 move here. The target will be 9. The roll is a 6. And Dude Brohan retains the title with the leg drop. Oh, man, what a match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to know who you think Dude Brohan should face next week. So make sure that you leave that in the comments. Moving on to the question of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, our question was, what was your favorite announcement from the Road to Galacticon event? And we had some great answers. Gerandis said, my favorite announcement was the low 4-pack. Looking forward to it. I'm right there with you, my friend. Joe M says, lots of great announcements, but my favorite was the best of the indie set. Jason PDSI said, looking forward to adding Ranger Ross. He was a regular enhancement guy in the WCW in the late 80s. I'm super excited for the Promoter Prime Prime cards as well. Scotty Boy 999 says, delighted this is back. Thank you, my friend. My favorite announcement was the Origins 2137 Deluxe Edition. Wondering what those bonus items will be. You are not alone. I am wondering as well. Lee Longpre says, my favorite announcement is actually the FTR Create a Character contest going down early next year. Lee is playing the long game. He's got to wait for a long time before he gets to that Create a Character contest. And Jared says, it's just so hard to list a singular announcement to put on a pedestal, but feet to the fire, the classic fan of me is super excited for the Central Wrestling Federation news. So a new Ventros is very special. So there you go. Thanks to everybody who answered last week. This week's question of the show is, if you want to say it, who are you voting for in the Legends Promoter Prime Q2 Fans Choice poll? So that poll with Adrian Adonis and Cousin Luke and Scotty Riggs and Danny Spivey and Lord Zoltan and Buff Bagwell. Who are you voting for? If you want to say, if you don't want to keep your vote a secret because it is a secret poll, that's fine too. We are not putting anybody's feet to the fire for the question of the week. Hey, elsewhere on the YouTube channel, you can check out Hollywood Elite Wrestling number 32, and you can also check out the set overview for Champions of the Galaxy Martial Law 2124. I'm so close to completing this project, and then I just need the remaining sets to be released online, and I can get this project done. But we're so close to almost getting up to the current year to creating this, to getting this finished. So definitely go check those out. Leave a comment, leave a like, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it. I want to give a big shout out to the other shows you can check out: Uncharted Territory, After Further Review with Steve Tower, and Heartland Championship Wrestling and Atlantic Wrestling Federation, and Pro Wrestling Mid-America from Dave Little. You can check those out. The links are on the screen or they will be in the show notes. There is an audio version of this podcast that's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Just search for Filsinger Games in your favorite audio store and it should pop right up. And also subscribe to the other podcasts that pop up that are championing Filsinger Games. If you have a topic you'd like me to cover in the show, leave it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe or follow, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch. And follow GWF Promoter on social media at GWF Promoter. That's the username, at GWF Promoter. The theme song you're listening to is American Guy by Throwing Toasters, used by permission and available on Apple Music, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your music. This podcast is not affiliated in any way with Filsinger Games or its subsidiaries. It's purely for entertainment purposes. This episode is copyright 2021 Saturday Morning Media, all rights reserved. Big thanks to Lee, Todd, Thomas, and anybody else who's watching. Those are the folks who chatted. Appreciate you being here, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, that's the other thing. One little quick note of housekeeping. For the next couple weeks, the podcast may be on different days. I was very fortunate enough to work on, the reason the show was not on Friday was I was able to work on a new Fox show that is coming out Friday and Saturday. And next week, for the next couple of weeks, I'll be working on a Netflix film. And those will be on Fridays and Saturdays. So the times for the podcast may fluctuate weirdly for the next couple weeks, but we are going to be here to provide you with the news that you want and the news you need. All right, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will talk to you later. Have a great week, everybody.
You can't take away my freedom, or my mom, or my apple pie. And if you do, you're gonna die trying, my friend.